Ms. Hadl, after 8 years off and on with the defendant, the two of you called it quits just 3 months ago because he denies your 1-year-old daughter, Amarella. Now, you want to prove to him that he is her biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Andrews, you say you can't trust Ms. Hadl because she's a serial cheater, and you are 100% certain that Amarella's not your daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Hadl, your relationship ended because of paternity doubt?
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
We have had a rough road throughout these 7.5 years. 9 months into our relationship, he pregnated another female while he was living with me. So I moved to Kansas and got away from him. We then started our relationship back, and I had planned on having another child with him. So I did get pregnant. Amarella came, and I think the doubts came because she looks different than our other child.
How does Mr. Andrews relate to Amarella because of his paternity doubt?
He calls his child and Amarella not in front of our children.
Really? Is that true, Mr. Andrews? That's not right.
No, it's not right. That's due to the things that she has said and done. She told me 2 different names that my child could be somebody else's child. So how can I trust that? Then at the same time, I received a text message.
Hold on. You brought an exhibit.
Correct.
Is that what is contained in the exhibit, that
Yes.
information?
Yes, it is.
Step over there, please, sir. These are the reasons you believe you are not the father. You saw sexual text messages from another man. Is that correct?
Correct.
Explain.
The same person who I see this text message from is the same guy who she was having an affair with all along from the whole get-go. So when I seen that text message, my whole thought process was, it's gotta be his baby.
What did you read in them?
I let you have it anytime, and now you chicken, you scared to come over.
Ms. Hadl, is that what these text messages
No.
said?
I can't tell you word for word. It was a
I know
sexual.
word for word.
I bet he does know word for word, but I don't, so I'm not gonna disagree, but anyhow.
Was this a man you've been intimate with?
Yes.
Were the text messages leaning towards the sexual side of conversation?
Most likely.
Okay. So next piece of evidence, you jumped out of the window at 3 a.m.
Correct.
Who jumped out the window?
She did.
I was trying to get free from him.
But see, the whole
He's
thing
crazy.
is, she leave the house every time. It's always when a private call come, or it's after 3 a.m. That's the only time he able to get away from his wife, so-called.
What?
And with that said,
Wait a minute. So she gets a private call.
Right.
Then she leaves the house.
Right.
And it's 3 a.m.
Right.
How are you getting up at 3 a.m. and leaving the house?
Maurice and I were not on that term of trust, so there was no trust. I didn't trust him, he didn't trust me.
I get that you all were in a bad place in your relationship, but what does trust have to do with you playing Wonder Woman and jumping out the window?
I couldn't walk out my front door because he was barricading my front door.
Where were you going?
I was going to find comfort.
Guess she told you?
I already knew this.
So you got a smile on your face, but you're in paternity court.
I am. I would like for him to get this during the
Did she
time that
think-
Amarella was conceived. In May of 2014, I told Maurice everything, who I was with, everything, and told him if he wants to make it work, we're gonna make it work. And he came back to Kansas and we conceived Amarella. We were trying for a boy and I wasn't cheating. I stopped. I was being faithful and trying to be a good woman to him.
How were you being a good woman? And look, I'm not saying he was perfect either, because I'm getting to you next.
No doubt.
But how were you being a good woman and you admit that you were on the phone with men, getting text messages, going out, finding comfort, flying out the window at 3 a.m.?
This was after 7.5 years. Like, this stuff built up. It was more or less, you're doing this to me, I'm gonna do it back to you.
Listen, you all have been together on and off for 8 years. He has 2 other children.
3.
Outside, 3 other children outside of the relationship?
During our relationship.
No.
Yes.
My
What
son,
kind of mess is this?
She's lying.
Right.
She's lying. She's lying.
You're gonna get the side eye now. 3 children? Let me get back to this exhibit. Found a condom
So at
in the
least
car.
I was using protection and it ain't no one else.
Do that. But she know I'm the one who take my daughter to daycare every morning. I'm the one get the dress, take daycare every morning. Little dirty people couldn't even take the condom and throw it away.
If you found a condom in the car.
So wait.
I showed you.
It was a dirty
It was
condom?
a dirty condom. It wasn't just a pack
I
condom.
don't agree with that because I didn't see it. He didn't show me nothing. He showed me a box.
Ms.
of condoms.
Hadl, did you have sex with a guy in the car?
Yes.
No. He found condoms in the car, but like I said, they were in a wrapper. They haven't been used. And if he's saying he's found a used wrapper or
It was a
dirty,
used
I
condom.
did not see
yeah,
that,
she
and I don't know
had
how
sex
it
in the
got
car
there.
A couple times.
Number 4. 4 months ago, Ms. Hadl told me about 2 other potential fathers.
Correct.
Really?
And out of spite, she'd go to running her mouth, and when she get mad, she'll tell on herself.
He's full of it. But
And
I
then
apologize, Your Honor.
She told me 2 other men was daddy.
His mouth,
which
from the
I was
time I
already-
wake up in
which
the
I was
morning
already
till the time I
assuming
go
from
to
the
sleep,
get-go
does
anyway.
not
I was already
stop, and all he does
physically
all
abusive,
damn day
though.
is talk
I don't put my hands on you,
about
but
how
just-
bad of a person that I am. So when I went out and cheated on him, it was to find security and comfort because
I know what comfort means. I've been doing this long enough, and I'm a woman. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Ms. Hadl, did you tell him that there were 2 other potential fathers? Did you say
no,
that
Honor,
to
this
him?
is what I said, and I'm going to let you know what happened. He was saying this person and this person is her daddy. I said, okay.
Because you was having
And
affairs with both of
okay,
them.
then
Because she was having
no, I
affairs with
was
both
not.
guys.
Either way. So I just agreed with him because that's what he wanted to hear. So I said, okay.
Who wanna hear
Like,
that?
I'm done arguing with you. Okay, then.
And you think I would? So you think I
Oh, you just said, okay. You didn't come to him and say, I
No.
want to tell you that there could potentially be
No,
2.
there is no potential. He's the only one. As I stated, May 2014, when I got with him again, as in let's work it out, we were planning
How you
to
figure- how you
have
figure
a
that? How you
child
figure that?
because
When you told
I
the guy
wanted a
anytime.
boy.
How you
So
figure-
why
how you
wouldn't
told the guy
why would
anytime?
I sleep around
true.
with
You
other
was.
people if I'm in love with him and I'm trying to make it work?
No, you wasn't. You was
And
in
so
love with the other guy.
okay, all right.
He's insecure about it because he's
No, I
cheated
ain't
and he's made all
insecure.
these babies.
No, I'm not.
So
I
he wants to
see
throw all the
proof.
blame on me.
I see
But
proof.
I'm a
She feel like I can't read.
Excuse me, I'm a grown
And I've been to
woman,
3 different
and I'll
colleges.
take
And she knows
the
I can
fault
read.
for what
she
I
would take
did,
a text message
but
and turn the text message
She's
straight
got
around.
text messages too.
Okay, but
I'm
I
not
don't
bringing that
I
up.
don't
It's not
turn
about
around,
that.
though.
It's about Amarella knowing who her daddy is, and I know who her
Okay,
daddy
you
is.
said 2 other
act like
guys
you don't.
was, and you said 2 other guys was. If
I
you-
never-
All right,
that.
all right. Let's get some order because you all aren't going anywhere.
No.
I know one thing. You all sound like you're like 16 years old,
Trust me, I know.
arguing back and forth, and you got these little beautiful children. Beautiful. And from what I'm saying, I don't even know how you have time to make babies because you don't stop talking. If you're doing this in here, I can only imagine what you're doing at home.
That's why he's not in my home no more.
That's why I left the home.
No, he would not
It
leave.
ain't just your home. It was mine too, fool.
He would not leave.
Let's talk about the birth. I don't even know where you all were at in this relationship when Amarella was born. Like, so
I
are you
was so
trying to
stressed
work
out.
it
I was 8
out?
months pregnant.
Or are you fighting? Are y'all going back and forth? What is happening at her birth?
So 8 months pregnant, I find out there's another female pregnant in the same town that we're living in. I'm about to give birth a month later. He was there, got to see this first child born out of whatever 6 or 7 children that he does have. This is the first child that he got to see born. So that was very special for him and me as well, having him there. He was there the whole pregnancy, took care, rubbed my back, feet, helped with the kids, helped keep the house clean, whatnot. But mentally, he wasn't a good.
So at the birth, did you go to the? So you were there at the hospital because you got to see her be born.
Okay, but at the same time, while she was pregnant, she was having the
Let me tell you something, Mr. Andrews.
Guys.
What?
Right. We can't leave that out. While she was pregnant, she was having the affair. And yes, I still stayed with her.
Hold on, slow down. When she was pregnant, repeat that testimony.
I was getting text messages from guys.
You were.
She was.
Were you or was she?
She.
So you were looking at her phone
Yes.
and she was getting text messages from guys.
Yes, Your Honor.
Saying what?
Where you at? Can I see you?
No.
The sexual things.
All this while she's pregnant.
Yep. And then she wouldn't tell the guy not to call back. I'm right telling
I can have friends, and it's not a
private call.
Like I said, there was only one person that I had ran
couldn't have no
for
friends.
comfort and security, and he did have friends. He had tons of friends.
I had
we don't
numbers and
want to
names
go.
on my
I'm not
phone.
going into detail.
Why do you
of all
need
his
friends when you're
dirt.
having
Like, I don't
babies
even care.
everywhere? You
I care
already
about the
had
party.
another baby.
Understandable. I couldn't have no woman friend, period.
So,
She-
Ms. Hadl, look,
He's
I
crazy.
want to know this. You're not denying you getting text messages. You didn't deny. You admitted in open court today that you were looking for comfort and security and no, I'm talking. I want to know, did you ever tell any of these other men that they potentially were Amarella's father?
No, Your Honor. No.
Are you still in touch with this man or men that gave you the comfort and the... Are you still in touch with them
No,
now?
I don't
That's
need
a
to
lie.
seek comfort because I'm not getting hurt from him.
Listen, Your Honor.
I'm happy.
Swear to God, she just lied. A week ago, one of the guys was over a house where her brother just moved down there.
This is
and
a
you
friend I've never
it's a
been
friend, but it's a
sexual
man,
with,
it's a
and
man.
he is talking about a
But it's
friend being
man
at
who
my
I
home.
who you said was Amarella's father. It's a man
I've never been
who
sexual
you know
with
I
this
had
person.
contact with. They had physical contact with over this situation.
Because he's delusional,
And then as soon as I
he thinks I've
leave,
been sexual
you had
with
this
this
man
person.
at the house where I just left from.
He's delusional.
And then you showed me on the phone like, ha, 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 ha. When you know, that's not funny. I didn't find that funny about far. Then she lying about this married dude. She's still in contact with him. She just made two lies up just then. Like you ain't in contact with neither one of them. I was like, you shit lying. I know she is.
And first and foremost, he is delusional. He thinks I've had sex with
Probably,
this
but
person
I
that
don't know
he's
if she's
talking
in
about
contact
that
with
was
the
at my
married
house.
man,
And
but I know you're in
never.
contact with the other dude because you showed me on the phone. So
Does anybody talk about Amarella?
Me?
Anybody?
Me?
Yes, me.
I mean, you all
As
just...
I stated, that's the only reason why I'm here. He wants to bring up dirt. I do not care about any of
I
it.
just don't say. I just don't be going around talking about some Amarella ain't mine. No, I don't even do that. That was a lie. That was a lie statement she just made then. I don't be saying nothing for the kids. She the one with the nasty mouth for the kids while you talking.
So either way, it's not right. And I want this to be done and over with so that we can move on. At least my kids will know everything that Daddy was saying about Mommy is wrong.
I mean,
And then let's be honest, stop talking. You can't be proud of yourselves. The situation is hideous. It's just listening to you all. I can only imagine what these children have witnessed and what they've heard.
Exactly.
You can't be proud of that. I don't care what he did, she did, this, that,
Exactly.
nothing. You all are barely mentioning the children in here today. It's just about what one of you did to the other.
Your Honor, I'm not bringing up any dirt. Like I said, I'm just responding to what he's saying, but I'm only here for Amarella. So that's the only reason why I'm here. I'm not here to bring up dirt.
I'm only here because I got
and
doubt.
I'm not here
That's the
to
only
bring
reason
up
I'm here.
what he's done to me. I've been hurt.
Because I got doubt.
But regardless, Amarella's his.
Look at
and I
that-
want to
look at-
prove that to him.
look at everything
and
you've done.
his
Why would I have
family
doubt?
members.
I can see that the only way we're gonna try to figure out how to move forward with you two in this new business you all are running is to get the results. Jerome, I'm ready.
Thank you.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Hadl versus Andrews, when it comes to 14-month-old Amarella Andrews, it has been determined by this court. When it comes to 14-month-old Amarella Andrews, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Andrews, you are the father. You have tears in your eyes. How do you feel in this moment?
I love her regardless. It's my daughter's sister, so it didn't make me no difference if I was or wasn't. I just wanted to prove.
Oh, it didn't?
Yes, it did.
I'm tired of you talking in circles, Mr. Andrews. Mm-hmm. Both of you doing a whole bunch of verbal gymnastics. Ain't nobody shaping up. Just talking, running your mouth. You gotta be careful when your watch and your mouth are bigger than your brain and your heart. What you all displayed up in this courtroom today, this is shameful. 2 grown people running around town. I mean, this is just ridiculous. You got these little girls. How many children do you have? Mr. Andrews, how many?
7.
7. How many girls, how many boys?
5 girls, 2 boys.
5 girls. Now, we really gonna get with you today. You are the example to those little girls as to what a man should act like, how a man should talk to them, and how a man should treat them. If you can't be in a healthy relationship, don't be in one. Sometimes you have to let go to grow. Ms. Knox, you are seeking a DNA test to prove to your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Bailey, that he is the father of your 1-year-old son, Cash. You claim the only reason he's denying your son is because of his meddling mother. Not only do you want to establish paternity, you are also suing for child-rearing expenses in the sum of $3,480. Is that correct? Ms. Bailey, you claim your son is a famous dancer and is about to hit it big. Both of you claim Ms. Knox is pinning a baby on your son because she is after his fame and future fortune.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Knox, what has Mr. Bailey done for Cash since he's been born?
Your Honor, for the past year that I've had my child, I had to struggle to take care of him alone. I paid for everything.
That's because you wanted to, little girl.
That's because
no, ma'am.
No,
no,
I
ma'am.
paid for everything because
No, ma'am.
he quit his job, and in
He did
June
not
of
quit his
2014, I asked him when will he start to pay for something, and he said he will.
I always had
July 13, 2014, when it came, he didn't have anything in the hospital with nothing. I paid for everything.
Because you wanted to,
I paid for everything.
I
You didn't have a
wanted to.
job, so how were you gonna pay for it?
Because you
Actually,
want.
I
Okay,
always
hold
had
on.
a job.
You didn't have a job.
He got a
You didn't have a
job.
job.
Let's
You
get
didn't have a
some
job.
order.
You
Let's get
didn't.
some
He got a
order.
job.
You didn't. You don't have any money, so
You don't know what I
Let's
got.
get
Look,
some
I
order.
got a whole lot. I got more than
Lady.
you.
no, you don't.
You gotta listen to the judge, ma'am.
Let's get some order.
I'm
Let's get
sorry.
some
Let the
order.
judge
I'm
speak.
sorry, Your Honor.
Do you have receipts?
Yes, I do have
That
receipts
will
of all the
substantiate-
stuff that I had bought for my child.
Jerome, may I see those, please?
I had to buy wipes, car seats, strollers. I had to buy everything. I haven't seen anything from it, Mr. Bailey.
So these are receipts for
A car seat.
walker,
A stroller.
car seat, swing, baby expenses. They total $6,960.
Yes, ma'am.
Half of which is $3,480, which you say he would be responsible for.
Yes.
To help raise the child that you claim is, in fact, his biological
Yes,
child.
Ma'am, as soon as my potential child was born, I paid to get his circumcision. I paid for that. That was $200 out of pocket. No
Why, if
question.
he's not your child?
No question. No
If
question.
you didn't think
Because
he was
it's the
yours,
same thing you
why
do,
pay
girl.
for it?
The same reason why I
But
bought
he
everything
didn't.
else.
You ain't do nothing for your own son, so I don't
The
even know
same
why you
reason why-
care. You didn't take care of him, so why are you worried about my
It's
child?
called
That's
joint
fine.
primary.
All right.
She don't know.
You
She
did.
don't know.
You
She
did.
don't know.
You
Mom,
didn't
mom,
take care of
mom.
him.
She
You
don't
didn't take
know.
care of him.
She don't know.
Order.
Ma'am.
Let's get some order. Listen, I'm not going to entertain this. The next time I have to hit this gavel, I'm just going to dismiss the case and we won't have any answers today. Mr. Bailey, you knew this was your potential child, but you did not know for certain.
Correct.
That's why you say potential.
Correct.
After the child was born, did you stay involved?
You know, I really didn't get a chance to. She took off to Texas.
Ms. Knox, you left the
2
state.
days.
Yes, ma'am. I left to go to Texas because I needed help to raise my child. I couldn't go to your mother because
Excuse
your
me,
mother
Your
didn't even
Honor.
raise you.
Why do you think she left?
Only she knows the real reason why she left.
So when she left,
I have
Instagram.
evidence.
I'd
I'd
that-
like to see that
This
evidence.
this.
What is this evidence, sir?
And I have
just- that's
evidence
just-
showing that you only
that's
got
just
those
some-
things to stack
that's
up
just-
because I said I was going to
that's
put you on
just
child
some-
support. That's
that's
the only
some of
reason
the
why you
stuff.
got it.
No, ma'am. That's
Yes,
been
ma'am.
my
I
life.
have it too.
Let's
I
get
have-
some order. Mr. Bailey, you
I
say
have-
this is evidence of what?
That's me. That's just like some of the stuff I had around the house. You know, that I purchased for cash.
Yeah,
some of the
things that
stuff he
you
wore.
purchased.
Some of it he wore. Some of it's brand new. Still in. You know,
Yana,
still have tags on it.
I
and
have
everything.
evidence showing that
The-
he only did
the
that
walker, I have
because
the
I said
receipts.
I was putting him on child support. I have evidence.
Let me
of
see
that
your
as
evidence.
well.
I have the
No,
walkers.
I never seen the clothes, but besides
And this
on
is
holidays,
and
we
this
gotta
is
take care.
evidence you've submitted It is a tweet
That
that
Mr.
he
Edwards-
says, I wonder how many more receipts I'ma need before I go to court.
Right.
What? What kind of tweet is this, Mr. Bailey?
It's a joke because who does that? Like, what type of I have two
You,
kids.
you wrote
I have
it.
2 kids.
No, did you
I
tweet
have 2
this?
kids. Yes, ma'am. I have 2 kids.
What is it about?
I mean, it's me making a joke. Like, I have 2 kids. Like, who does that? Who keeps receipts? I don't keep receipts on my children. Like, I don't, you know what I'm
So
saying? I'm
what,
not
you're
the type
being
of father. I never
sarcastic in this tweet?
Right.
Your
Of course.
Honor,
I never had to do that.
Mr. Bailey, I want to understand your doubt because you say you're at the hospital. You went through the pregnancy with her.
Yes, ma'am.
You signed the birth certificate.
Yes, ma'am.
So when did you start doubting?
When his mother started talking, Your Honor.
I started doubting when I started seeing her actions. Like, who does that? Around the time I had first went Hadl, right? I'm not no phone checking type person. That's not my style, okay? But I just so happened to go through her phone. She was texting me and this little dude around the same time, telling us it was like the same conversations, right? Like minutes apart, not even, like minutes apart. So the last text message said, I'm gonna come give you a hug and a kiss, right? From the other guy. And my text message said, I'm on my way to come get you. So it's pretty much whoever got there first. If he would have got there first, if she was already pregnant, that probably would have been his baby. She probably would have been saying it's his baby.
Wait a minute.
You see
What?
I'm
I don't know.
Like, she probably would have been at his house.
Wait.
And then-
Wait.
One more time,
Stop.
Anna.
I need you to start that again because I'm not understanding this
That's a
doubt.
lie.
Okay.
You're saying from a text message you saw
Before I got pregnant, he said, Your Honor.
before she was pregnant,
Yeah.
you saw a text message in her phone.
Yes, ma'am.
That's correct.
Several. Not
Several.
That's not
So
one.
it was your text message to her followed by another man.
Yes, ma'am.
And that other man's text had
Our time intervals was like right there.
and
right
it
on top of
seemed
each other.
like there was something intimate going on with the other guy.
I mean, it was clear as day. It was just like.
Well, why you
about to
stood
come.
there then?
I'm
So
about to
what
come
you're
get it.
saying is that
you gonna-
that said to you in your mind, she's having sex with both of us. Ms. Bailey,
I
what
think
did
she
you
was
say?
pregnant when she met my son. And the reason why I say that, because every time somebody went over there, she was under the cover. It's a shotgun house. It was my house. I left it to him. So when you walk in, you're in the living room in the room. The proper thing to do, little girl, is get up and acknowledge your
Why?
guest
Because
who's
I
ever.
don't acknowledge you.
He wasn't even there.
I don't even like him.
So hold on, Miss
I don't
Bailey.
care if he don't like
You don't even
Miss Bailey,
don't have
talk
no
to
time.
me
I'm
because I
sorry.
want to understand what you're
Clearly
saying.
she was-
You said you believe she was already pregnant.
when she met my son. And the reason why I say that is because you own the social media, okay? So obviously you done saw what he was doing for his other kids and maybe even what's going on for.
Yana, he does not have a career. I don't know what career you're talking about, but he does not. He was nothing when I met him, and he's nothing now.
Ain't like you
it
nothing.
was your house.
Your
Calm
Honor.
down. Miss Bailey, explain to me why you believe she was pregnant before she even met your son.
Because when we actually did have a conversation, she's gonna say, oh, well, I'm 3 months pregnant.
Lies. Yeah.
And I'm like, 3 months pregnant, and that was in November.
You brought, wait a
Do
minute,
you
you
mind?
brought, this is your evidence
This is
here?
my board,
Please
ma'am.
step over
Can
to
I
the
please
exhibit
show you?
and show
3
me.
months. It was November. She told me she was 3.5 months pregnant. She met my son in October. Either way, whether it was November or December, it don't matter, little girl. It don't add up. So at this point, I'm looking at her. Now, mind you, she never one time got out of the bed every time we go over there. She's always covered up. So when I see her, she's like maybe in between here.
So
6
you're
months
saying
more.
she looked like she was 5 or 6 months pregnant
when I
she was
physically saw
telling
her,
you
when she
was
told me
3
she was
months.
3 months.
Okay.
Me even meeting her, I
Okay,
had
you
my
can
doubts.
step back over to the podium.
When he came, and he was trying to get me to talk to the little girl. I said, I don't think so. It's just something about her that I don't like. From day one, I kept telling
That's
him.
what I said, Yana.
I don't. Whether
Your Honor,
Because
what
he's
career?
about to really make it big as a dancer. You
right,
say he's about
and
to be
yes,
famous.
he did take a few trips to Hollywood.
He
no,
came
it
back
don't
with
always.
nothing.
It don't.
He went
you
to
don't know what
Hollywood
he
and
came back with.
nothing.
Because you didn't get nothing.
He
because
came
you didn't
back
get
with
nothing.
nothing.
From
He came back a week later. So if you
You
go to
didn't get
Hollywood
nothing.
to
He didn't
make
come
it
back
out
no
of your
week
life,
later, Your
you
Honor.
are not going to come back a week later to do this. What is that?
Your Honor.
That's not no career.
He
Him
did not
shaking
come
his
back
shoulder
a
is
week
not a
later.
career.
And even if
That
he
is not a
don't
career.
make
That's
it.
not money because he's shaking his shoulder.
Hold
That's
on,
not
baby.
nothing. That's
But-
not a career, baby. Come with something else.
Have you ever requested a DNA test.
3 times. I asked her 3 times, and we haven't seen Cash ever since I brought that up. And then every time we want to see Cash, Edward has to give her something. Oh, well, if you give me a case of diapers, you can see Cash.
Okay.
Yeah, I still don't receive the stuff. And the reason why I don't give them to him, because first off, their house is not even properly, it's not even a house. It's dirty, it's filthy, it's
You lie!
You didn't, I still don't trust my child with you because you didn't raise your own child, so I have a problem with
You
it.
are a
If
liar,
you didn't raise
girl.
your own kids, why would I just freely give my child to you?
But you
Second is
understand
because-
that if he's in fact the biological father of this child, he has a legal right to see the child.
He does,
He
but if you're
does.
not doing nothing
Excuse
for him,
me, Your
there's no
Honor.
reason for you to come get him.
Hold on.
If you're not taking care of
But
my
no,
child,
no,
what is your reasons for coming
Well,
to get him?
listen, but this is a good legal lesson for you, just so you know, Ms. Knox, because if he's not the biological father and somebody else is, it doesn't matter. The legal right to see your child is separate from your legal responsibility to take care of them. Okay. Meaning, a man can be behind in his support. That happens, it does, but that does not in any way affect, cut off his right to see the child, because ultimately it's about the child's best interest. I'm trying to understand, Mr. Bailey has gone through this entire process, signed a birth certificate, he's seen some text messages that he maybe says he feels like might have been with somebody else, but I just have not gotten to this doubt. I want to understand what this doubt is. Now, Mom, I heard you. I get your doubt. And Mr. Bailey, I want to understand yours fully.
I mean, she goes as far as to dealing with my friends, like a couple of mile apart. I don't know if she think I don't know about it or not. But they always tell me, they always come back and tell me, son, your baby mama tore up. She trying to talk to me like you know what I'm saying? Like all the time. Like, I know how dudes is.
Never
Some
heard
them
of
probably,
Yana. That's something new.
Wait,
to
she
my ear.
tore up. What do you mean?
Like
She messed up.
a thought out here.
A thought is basically
jumping around. Like,
Yeah.
first of all, she constantly threatens me. I'm gonna put you on child support, Then double back a couple days later. I'll never do that to you. I'll never do that to you. I'll never put you on child support. I'm like, all right. Then she even tweets how good of a father I am. Like, she's happy that I've been there, and that I've been taking care of my son and so on and so forth. But I received a letter saying that she must have went down there and filed and took me out child support. Why would you do that? The only reason.
So you're saying you got a letter in the mail that
Correct.
says that you were going to be taken off child support.
No, my case would no longer be pursued. I didn't even know.
So when you got that letter,
the only way they would close your case is if she went down there and claimed somebody else is the father and she put somebody else on child support, or she just went down there. Like, why would you do that? Why would you take me out if, I don't understand.
So, well,
Make
Ms.
your mind
Knox, I mean, if you had a case pending against him, and then they said they were no longer going to pursue that case, did you go down and say
No, Yana, I filed for it at first. And then I really didn't want to do it because I feel like you grown. I shouldn't have to go through child support in order for you to take care of a child that you helped me make. So I did it, and then I just ain't respond to the case the most. So that's how the case got closed. I didn't go down there and say close the case. I just didn't respond to it at all. But I recently did it. I did it because I did not want to have to go through that process. I do not want to have to sit around and wait on no check that you do not have.
So
you don't even have no money to give me.
Okay, so
you don't even have a job. So I'm not trying to
like,
go through no child support. I'm not trying to make you go through it.
I got several.
That's why I did not go through with it the first time. But once I realized that the years just going by and you really not gonna help me take care of my child, now you're back on child support. Now the process is gonna start. It's gonna continue.
It don't go like that, dummy. Once you
How? If you're about to receive your papers, I just came from court.
So
What
Ms. Knox,
What papers?
You're gonna receive one in the mail.
Ms. Knox,
we're gonna
all right. With that said, I think it's time for the results. Thank you, Jerome. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Knox versus Bailey, pertaining to 1-year-old Cash Bailey, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Bailey, you are Cash's father.
That's fine. You're still a tramp.
Anything.
Seem emotionless. How does
That's
it
my
feel?
son. That's my son. I'm gonna move forward with, what I gotta do as a father, and I'm not gonna let her bring me down. I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing, because I know the truth.
You both are gonna have to figure out how to parent this child. Now, as it relates to your suit, Ms. Knox, you came in saying that you had spent $6,960 by yourself caring for this child.
Yes, yeah.
However, Mr. Bailey's testified and you've acknowledged he did pay $200 for the circumcision. As it relates to baby Cash, he's going to get credit for that. That brings the total expenses for you alone to $6,760, half of which would be $3,380.
Okay.
My judgment is for $3,380 for you, the plaintiff, because in fact, Mr. Bailey is Cash's biological father, and Mr. Bailey, you have a legal responsibility to help care for that child. Let me give you a news flash before we go. As you begin to take care of this child, keep receipts for everything you buy. Have that there. If in fact she proceeds with the child support case, you'll be responsible for that as well. But if there's ever any issue about what you buy, you're going to be allowed. If you buy clothes for your child and you want to keep those clothes at your house, you are completely, that's fine if you want to do that.
Yes,
but keep proof of what you are doing for the child. If this comes up, you will need it if you have to deal with this issue again. I wish you all the best of luck. Court is adjourned. Ms. Banks, you say the defendant is pinning her baby on your son, Daryl, who was tragically murdered before her child was born. You say Daryl told you he didn't believe he was the father, and you intend to prove that today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hawkins, you state Ms. Banks has no idea how much Daryl loved you. You say Ms. Banks is denying her son's legacy, Jasani, and you claim today's DNA results will prove Daryl is the father. Is that
Your
correct?
Honor.
So, Ms. Banks, why do you believe Jasani is not your grandchild?
Because, Your Honor, I don't believe that Jasani is my grandson, and I'm here to prove it today for the simple fact that Jada and my son had a very rocky relationship. Me and my son were really, really close, and we were really close. We talked all the time, every day. He would just call me to tell me that he loved me. I never knew of Jada really until right before my son's death. Jada met my son on Facebook, and she came and moved in with him the same day that she met him. They were dating, and they were off and on. They kept breaking up. So when my son told me about this, I told him that I was gonna get a DNA. And the type of person my son was, if he really believed that Miss Jada had his baby, he would have said to me, no, Mom, no. You don't need to get a DNA, this is my baby. Because Jada's not the only girl who claimed to be pregnant by him. There was 2 other women also.
Before we get to that, Ms. Hawkins, can you explain to the court the nature of your relationship with the deceased Daryl?
Daryl and I had a strong relationship. We were on and off. I loved him very much. He loved me very much. When I told him I was pregnant, he wanted me to keep it. We got back together and we started working on it.
When you were broken up, were you all seeing other people?
Yes, he was seeing someone else and so was I.
And so if you got pregnant during the time you broke up and you were seeing someone else, could this other person potentially be your child's father?
No, Your Honor, because I was only with someone else for 2 weeks. When I found that I was pregnant, I was about 6 weeks pregnant.
So you feel like you were already pregnant before you and Daryl broke up?
Yes.
When you told Daryl you were pregnant, what did he say to you?
He was happy, he wanted me to keep it, and he wanted to get back together.
So, Ms. Banks, how did your son tell you that Ms. Hawkins was pregnant?
He came to me, he called me on the phone, and he was like, Mom, Jada's pregnant. And I was like, who is Jada? And he was like, she's my new girlfriend. And I was like, oh, here we go again. My son had a lot of girlfriends. And to me, Jada was just another girl that came along, and now she's saying she's pregnant. Of course, Daryl was gonna be like, he wanted to have a baby. He comes from a large family. He has 6 brothers and sisters. So of course he doesn't know about not having a kid.
So how is it that he expressed that he was doubtful?
When she called and said that she was pregnant, she was living with another man.
Correction.
Oh.
I was not living with another man. I was staying with my cousin. I was in a relationship with another man. And when I found that I was pregnant, the other man said, if you decide to keep the baby, let's end the relationship. That's how I ended back up with Daryl. Thank you.
So you came back to my son because another man didn't want you?
Because I wanted my baby, and Daryl wanted my baby too.
Ms. Hawkins, can you tell the court how long were you back together with Daryl before he passed away?
I literally got back with Daryl on October 20th, and he passed away October 21st.
And you were the last person to see him?
Yes. Correction, I was not the last person to see him.
The
people
murderers
that
were.
did that was the last people to see him.
You're right.
Ms. Hawkins and Ms. Banks, let me try to get an understanding as to what's going on. I understand.
She feels like
how
I'm the
painful
reason
this
her
is.
son is dead. That's how she feels. You're really the reason your son is dead.
I'm not the reason he's dead.
Listen, ladies.
You're the reason.
If he-
And you know that. You know-
ladies.
Come on.
Girl,
Do
let me
it.
tell
Do
you
it.
something. If he
Miss
wasn't
ladies.
with your trashy self,
Let's get some order. Let's get some order, ladies. Let's not go there today. It's bad enough that he is gone, and it's even worse that potentially Jasani is left behind without his father, or if he's not his biological father, without having a relationship with a biological father. Let's not go there.
Why would you name him Jay Shani when you know that my son is dead? The whole time you were pregnant, you told us you were gonna name that baby Daryl Ray Daniel
I'ma let you
III.
speak.
That's why his name is Triple D.
Can I speak? Okay, Daryl told me out his own mouth, he don't want his son. I said, if it's a boy, do you want him named after you? I don't like my name, give my son his own name. That's what I did. But not only that, my son's whole name is Jasani Daryl Ray Daniel. Is your son's whole name not in that name? Jasani Daryl Ray Daniel. Jasani Daryl Ray Daniel.
All right.
That does not make him him.
Miss Hawkins.
He's not your son. He's not him. He's not your.
Let's get some order, ladies. Jerome, stand in between them. Goodness.
You a whole vagrant. You can't never
Ladies.
find nowhere to stay.
Keep it under
I got
control.
all
so
my
you get the answer.
and I know
But me
who
and
the
my
daddy is.
Ladies.
but me and my son got a roof over our head while you was just calling me on the
Miss-
phone talking about, oh, my house is getting foreclosure.
Because
you got me.
when my son died, I
It
stopped
don't
working.
matter. It
But I
don't
bet
matter.
you I got
And
it
I'm
back.
taking care
I
of
bet
my
you
son
January
by myself.
30th.
I'm taking care of your son by myself.
Ladies,
I know you
Miss
are.
Hawkins,
It's very emotional.
Miss Hawkins,
emotional.
Miss Hawkins, Miss Hawkins, turn around and look at me. Look at me. Look at
Take a
me.
deep breath.
Calm down. Just take a deep breath. Everybody is in so much pain. You all are just so wound up. Just look at me and take a breath. Take a breath. Daryl passed while Miss Hawkins was pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
While Miss Hawkins takes a minute, I will speak with you, Miss Banks.
Okay.
Once he passes, do you try to form a relationship with Miss Hawkins?
Yes, I tried to form a relationship with her because I knew Jada's situation. She's young. I have a bunch of kids. I have a house. So I talked to Jada on the phone and I said to her, well, Jada, come on, move to Houston with us. I can help you better if you live close to me. I bought Jada a one-way ticket. Yes, it was a one-way ticket because you were supposed to be coming. I get to the airport with balloons in my hand, excited because this is all that I have left of my son that was tragically murdered. I'm standing in the airport like an idiot. This one's nowhere around. I'm looking for a girl that I've never met.
And she never showed.
She never showed. And then when I called her on the phone, she didn't even answer the phone.
What happened? Why didn't you go?
I only didn't get on the plane because at the time, Daryl had just passed. She was going through a lot, calling me, picking fights with me, threatening me, making me feel, I don't know you. Like you said, I never met you in person. I don't know you, and I'm going to jump on a plane to come move with you.
I was threatening you?
No.
For what?
You threatened me to this day.
And so, Miss Banks, you interpreted her failure to come as this probably isn't my son's baby because she doesn't want the help of his mother.
and she's acting nervous and scared. I have 7 kids.
I mean, you've had 7 children. You do know how vulnerable you feel when you're pregnant. Do you understand how she maybe got nervous and just did not want to be in a new environment?
She should have just said that.
Well, yeah, but at
all that mouth she got.
That's a lot of pressure.
She got
I had a lot of pressure on me at that time.
She wasn't scared. She lied. Look at all that mouth she got. Where you see scared at?
Well, I wasn't gonna say she was scared. What I was going to say, Ms. Banks, is that at 20, early 20s, you just don't always make the right calls.
You don't.
And you don't do things the right way. That's one of the problems when you're that young having babies. You haven't really figured things out. And so, no, you're right. Don't have somebody buy a plane ticket and be at the airport with balloons. You could have just said, you know what, ma'am, I appreciate the offer, but I'm not comfortable.
How come when after Daryl was dead, she called me on the phone and she told me how she was trying to get some assistance for her and baby Jay Shani. She asked me for his social security, my son's social security
Wait, this is
number.
after he passed away?
Yes.
Well, let me ask you.
No, that's not how it happened. By law, if a mother goes down to welfare and file for welfare and get on assistance, the father automatically goes on child support. I explained to them that Daryl passed away. They said, give us his social, we're gonna run it anyway and find his death certificate.
Where could you get that social at? Where you got it from?
Okay, but wait, so then when I called her and got it and they ran it, they said, okay, yes, he passed away. Maybe you can get, I don't know what it's called, but some type of benefits for my son. Yeah. Okay, at the end of the day, what about it? What about it though?
That's what you don't want.
What about it? On welfare. You don't do nothing for your grandson.
That ain't my grandson.
But you sent them ashes. You sent them down ashes though. You sent them down ashes though, but it ain't your grandson.
Does he have a relationship with Ms. Banks? Have you?
No, he does not.
Okay.
For what? He ain't mine.
She did one thing for Jasani when he was a couple months old. Ordered him some clothes and sent it with a lock with Daryl's ashes in it. Why are you doing that if you don't feel like it's your grandchild?
Because in the beginning, once Daryl passed away, this was the last thing that I had. This is the only thing that I have of him. But I'm so sick of you. Every time you get pissed, telling me who I cannot see. So I looked it up and I found out that I have grandparents' rights. And I don't have to kiss your little young behind no more. That if this is my grandson today, I can get me some grandparents' rights. And I ain't got to talk to you or be your friend.
Okay. I heard what you said, Ms. Banks. Now I want to let Ms. Hawkins speak. What would you like to say in response? Speak to me.
Yes, when I get upset and I tell her, okay, I don't want you in my baby life, that's because when she's upset, she tells me stuff like, my son's already dead. What you gonna do when your son die? I can't love a baby.
I never told you that.
I can't love a baby.
Never told you that. I never told you that.
I never told you that. I can't love a baby I never met.
And she has another boyfriend now. Already. I'm still mourning. I'm still sad. I'm still crying every day. How can you be so eager to have another man? You just keep getting more men.
But Miss Banks, okay, take a breath. You say, as much as you express that you are upset with Miss Hawkins, you say, this baby's all I have. This baby's all I have. Are you just so hurt? And listen, I couldn't put myself in your shoes.
She knows how hurt I am. Somebody murdered your child. I want to know how you gonna react. Just because you went off and got another.
Listen, Miss Banks.
That is not what you said.
Miss Banks.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm here with you. I'm right here with you, and I understand your pain, and I'm right here. Is it your hope that you do have that legacy of your son?
Yes.
So you do really hope, and that's why, despite the doubt, you still sent the ashes, you sent the clothes.
Yes. If I didn't like her, there was nowhere she was gonna be.
Okay.
She would never be at my house.
Okay.
So what I want to do, Your Honor, is I want to find out if this is my grandchild. So then I'm gonna have a different attitude toward this little girl.
Okay, then that's what we need. Let's focus on what we need to do to be able to get to the other side. Let's focus on that. Jerome, may I have the envelope, please? Thank you.
You're welcome.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Because there wasn't a blood card available to test the DNA of the deceased, Daryl Daniel, we performed a DNA test with his surviving parent, LaWinda Banks. And with that being said, the results determine if there is a viable relationship between the child, Jasani Daniel, and LaWinda Banks. These are the results. In the case of Banks versus Hawkins, when it comes to 21-month-old Jasani Daniel, it has been determined by this court the percentage of relatedness between Miss LaWinda Banks and Jasani Daniel is 99.99%. You are related.
What now?
I'm sorry, Jada. I just needed to really know. I just needed to know. Please come.
Just stand still. Just, you can make it. You can make it. I know
sorry,
you've
baby.
been through a lot.
Please.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, and I forgive
sorry.
you, but I
I'm
need
sorry.
a minute.
I'm
Listen,
sorry.
I need a minute.
Just let's take a breath. She's just saying she's sorry. When you've been through this kind of trauma, I mean, this isn't just disappointment. This isn't even betrayal. This is tragedy. This is trauma. Both of you are still suffering. And you may say, oh, she moved on to the next one. Many people go through trauma in that way too. I want you ladies to start thinking about your mental and emotional health, because the way you feel and the way you behave is going to directly affect that beautiful little boy.